Bassenthwaite Channel, the Lake District and the Northern Fells once again. We parked just up the road there at Peterhouse Farm, and the intention today is to do 2 hills, but there's 2 Birketts and a Wainwright. We're doing Cockup and Bakestall, and Bakestall has got a Wainwright cairn and a Birkett cairn. So we're just going to walk down the road a bit before we turn off onto a bridle way up onto the fells and head up Cockup. So as we make our way down here, we'll have a look at the route. So we've left the road and through that gate, and we're now heading on towards the lower slopes of Cockup. Nice and peaceful around here. I was surprised when we got to parking area, it was about 10 to 9. And given the state of Longlands last week, it was empty. We were the first ones there, and then just before we set off, another car and a camper van pulled in, taking up most of the rest of the parking spaces. So yeah, nice morning. Views behind us over there, over the top end of Bassenthwaite Lake. Bit cloudy on the top of Skiddaw, and it looks like there might be a bit of snow up there as well, but we're not going that high. Right, up we go. So that gate is the end of the bridleway, and onto the open fell side now, and that's looking over our shoulders to Binsey. It's a great view. I'll put you on another camera. So that's over to Binsey and down the wall that we've just come up by the side of, and looking over top end of Bassenthwaite Lake over to Sale Fell and Ling Fell, Broom Fell and Lord's Seat, and just in front of it is Bath. So yeah, it's glorious. So we're going to head up to this old mine working now, I think, and then over the stream and up to Cockup. So here we are on our first hill of the day, which is the Birkett of Cockup, and up there is where we're going next, up to Bakestall. But over that way, that's looking over to where we were on last video, over there to Burn Todd and Frozen Fell, and up to Knott, down to Great Scarf Fell and Little Scarf Fell. So that was last video. So for this one, we're going up there, up to Bakestall. So I think what we might do is just drop down here and have coffee and a chew, maybe set that man. Another error, when I was saying we cross over a stream down there at a mine working, that's between here and Bakestall, not down there. And we've been down this way before. We did Bakestall and came down this way, and we'd been over to another Birkett called White Horse, which took some getting, so that was tricky. We had to do a detour to get to that. Right, we're going to drop down here over this little ridge here, drop down to where we cross this stream, and I think we're going to have coffee and a chew down there before we head off up to Bakestall. So when I said back there that last time when we came down this route, we did a Birkett called White Horse. That's it, straight in the middle of the screen now. And I was hoping to do a little bit of trespassing and nip straight up there round Dash Farm, but it didn't look very inviting. I think they made it clear that they didn't want people going that way. So that was the last time we were in. We ended up having to go up over, there's Little Cockup and Little Calver and Great Calver there. We ended up having to go to the top of Whitewater Dash, which is where we're going down today, and then over them to White Horse, and then double back on ourselves. And that path from top of Whitewater Dash up to Great Calver, it's a nightmare, especially coming down it. Right, so we're gonna just drop down over here for coffee and a chew, I think, before we head on off up to Bakestall. So here we are by this babbling brook. So I think we're going to have coffee and a chew now we're out at Wyn before we head on up to Bakestall. So if you'd like to support the channel, there's that QR code there. You can scan that and buy us coffee and a chew if you so wish. That'd be much appreciated. And if you can't scan that, there'll be a link in the description down there. You can click on that. We'll both take you to buy me a coffee, buy us coffee and a chew for a future episode if you'd like to. That'd be much appreciated. And thank you very much to everybody who has done in the past. It does help towards bringing you these videos, which most people seem to enjoy. So right, yeah, we're gonna have coffee and a chew here, and then we'll head on up to Bakestall. Well, we're not far from top of Bakestall now. It's not far from that stream. I just thought I'd show you views from here. Any excuse to get my breath back. That's looking over top of Bassenthwaite Lake. Then over the Solway. You won't be able to make out on here because it's really hazy, but I can see Criffle in Dumfries and Galloway. And Binsey. And then just see over there, over water, and then that's little Cockup and Great Cockup. Right, so we're up here at top of Bakestall. Hope that's not yellow snow, Charlie. Here we are on the Wainwright summit of Bakestall. Just met these two people, Brenda and Elaine, from God's own county, from Pontefract, enjoying a week in the Dales. Great weather for them today. So nice to meet you, and hope you enjoy the rest of your walk. So here we are on the Birkett summit of Bakestall, and that's looking up to Skiddaw. It's a bit chilly up here. It's a bit breezy, and it's got a right chill to it as that breeze. So we're going to drop down what's called Birkett Edge. Might get all the way down to top of Whitewater Dash before we had lunch. But yeah, stunning day, beautiful. Right, we'll get on down Birkett Edge. So here we are on our way down Birkett Edge, and I've just watched that video back of Brendan and Elaine that we met on Wainwright Summit, and I've called him Brenda. So I do apologise, Brendan. But it was nice to meet you and have a chat. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your walk. Let us know what you thought of the route down. Right, so oh yeah, sorry about that. We're heading on down Birkett Edge, which is just down by the side of Dead Crags here. Yeah, down we go. So we're making our way down Birkett Edge. A bit eroded in places is this path. It's a long time since I've been up or down here. And a few people around as well. I'm still chuckling to myself. I'm sorry, Brendan. I can't believe I called you Brenda at top of the hill. Oh dear. Right, so we're gonna have our lunch. Well, Charlie's finished his already. So yeah, I'm gonna have mine and have that view over to Blencathra, and then we'll head on down to Whitewater Dash, and it's just back along Cumbria Way back to the car. Right, so I'm gonna have my lunch. Well, lunch was very pleasant. We're almost back down Birkett Edge now, down to the top of Whitewater Dash, and it's got a bit chilly when the sun goes in, and winds moved right round. When we sat down for our lunch, it was at our backs, and by the time we'd finished, it was blowing straight in our faces, and it's got a bit of a chill to it as well. Right, so we're just making our way down to the Cumbria Way at the top of Whitewater Dash. So we're back down on the Cumbria Way at the top of Whitewater Dash, and it got a bit squelchy towards the bottom coming down there. So yeah, we just follow this good track all the way back to the car now. Let's see if I can get some shots at waterfall. I'm not sure if you can or not from here. Yeah, I'll show you dead crags up there and a view looking down valley towards Bingsey. I probably won't do much filming coming down here. Top bit at waterfall here, and then that's looking down valley to Bingsey. And there's dead crags there. Yeah, so we just make our way down this track. So we'll see you down there. So that's about the best view you get of Whitewater Dash, the waterfall, from this track. You can't really get close to it at all. Yeah, we're going to just continue making our way down the Cumbria Way. So we've just crossed over Dead Beck for the second time, because it was the upper reaches of that where we stopped for coffee and a chew earlier. And I noticed there's a footpath, well, a path of sorts coming down that way. And I think that was the way we came down from Cockup first time we did it. I don't think we went down by that wall. I certainly remember coming down that path there sometime, and I can only think it will have been return from Cockup. So yeah, maybe we hadn't been on that way up before. That's nice looking up Dead Beck, isn't it? Right, on we go. So we've less than half a mile to go now, just along this farm track, so I'm going to sign off. And that's where we were first thing, up Cockup. And I'm confused now. I thought I'd only done it once before, but I seem to remember crossing that beck, Dead Beck, where we had our coffee and chew earlier. But I also seem to recall this diagonal path here and going down to Dead Beck here. So I'm confused about Cockup now. So a big Cockup. So yeah, it's been good. We've had some great views. Not been that many people around. There's been a few people on this track here on Cumbria Way. I mean, since we got to Bakestall, there's been one or two, but no, not that many. We didn't see anybody all the way from Car to Bakestall, so it's been good. We've had great views. It's been lovely. Now, don't forget, if you're interested in any of our walks, there's the information pages to come at the end of the video, maps and details, stuff like that. So hang around for that if you want more information about the walks. But now, it's been great. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully see you on another one soon. Ta-ra!